Quick video. We're just going to show the grounds here. There was a fire recently in this community, and a husband and father was lost during that fire. We thank the emergency medical responders that came out, the Monroeville Fire Department. But most people know a lot of times the gardens that I do are basically memorial gardens and spaces. And the father had so many toys for his child. I would ride by a lot of times and just look. And some people that have heard me before know that, I went through some troubles and trials when I was a young girl, and they can leave psychological scars. But the parents who adopted me, my father was just this. He was a high cliff diver, a hunter, a sportsman, a little erratic sometimes, but a boatsman. We would go to the shore, Lake Apacon, and different bodies of water. He took me out to the ocean one time when I was young. I thought I could handle it. I think we went with Uncle Gino or Uncle Bump, one of the two. And I was done for. I was like, woo. It was just so much water in the boat, and when you just sit in the boat and just see all that expanse of water. But anyway, one thing my dad did, we had a garage, a detached garage. One thing that he did so many things. I think I might have said something about my bike when I rode down the street with my little flower banana seat bike with my little basket. I had a little purple bike and rode down the street after he finally got me off of my training wheels and crashed into a tree and cracked my bike in half. But of course, my father was also a welder. He was a chemical, he worked at chemical companies. He handled the boilers and, big chemical companies. And he welded my bike together. And that was just the highlight of my life. But also he put a swing. He built a swing in our garage. And that swing, I'm going to tell you what, it was just unbelievable for me. It would just take me away in a world I can't even explain. And I actually wish I had gone back home and taken that swing out of the garage. But my father did build one. So playgrounds and parks, and you hear the birds and places of solace. One time, a professor said to me, I guess I was presenting my master's thesis to one of my professors. I won't say his name, but one of my professors in seminary, and he just looked at me and said, "Well, Mary, you live in a fantasy land." And so many things went through my mind at that time. Then I went to a Presbyterian seminary, and I thought about Walt Disney, and I thought about Einstein, and I thought about all the genius minds. But the one thing I also thought about was splitting. And what some people don't understand is when there's a tragedy occurring oftentimes to an individual, the mind will do what's known as splitting. It will take you somewhere else in order to try to help you to survive. Now, the problem is a lot of times people don't come back. Their minds do not come back from there. And I'm thinking to myself while he's saying you live in a fantasy land, and I'm saying to myself, but that's how I survived. That's how I survived. And that's how a lot of people are surviving. But little places like this help people come back. We're living in a time where people's minds have split and they are not finding their way back. So, and even in our spirits, we're not finding our way back. And the church has a charge to do the work. But the charge is not only inside. That charge has been given to us to bring God's Spirit alive and make it evident outside. Okay, so again, this space is going to be a memorial to the father and husband who was lost in that fire, and that at some time when that child comes back through this community, as we often do, we go back to visit where we came from. He won't only remember the devastation of the house being knocked down, he will be able to look over here and remember his father, because clearly his father's spirit is still here. Okay? And again, this is how we make God evident and plain to people who don't even come into the church. All right? God bless you. And, okay, hey, peace. Thank you. One other thing I want to say is there are gardens in this community. I'm going to turn this way so I'm not looking at his house. There are gardens in this community. If anyone wants to help donate and just leave a piece of a plant in a pot, a bag, anything, if you want to, I'm not going to say I have to take over everything. You want to just stick one in somewhere. Right now I'm just working in the front here, okay? And we are going to make this unsightliness, even though it's still here to do its job, it will still stop a vehicle coming this way. We don't really like the way it looks that well, okay? So again, any of the neighbors in the community, you know where I am. You know where this space is. In honor of your neighbor who died in the house fire very recently, and in honor of the responders and in honor of his child, I pray that you would just leave me a piece of a plant. Just a piece of a plant or a plant. Just dig up something out of your garden. The father had so many toys over there for his child. They just demolished over all of those also. So it's almost like nothing was left. But yet God still sees fit. All right? Y'all have a beautiful day. Bye-bye. And again, these are roses. We actually grabbed these on sale I got this from Lowe's. And these came from Home Depot. Excuse me, I will be at Home Depot today. They had some beautiful roses I noticed yesterday. Wilkins Township Home Depot, 4116 store number. And but this is where we are today. And again, this space will be a memory to the husband who was lost in the fire. Thank you so much, the husband and father. Bye-bye.